So I'll ask you what your chat's been asking for the past 2 weeks, nonstop, every second. What do you think of that new Riot Games shooter? It's called Vladin or something. Vladin.
Yep, that's the one. Valorant. I mean, it looks good. I don't know. I don't like. I like, but I don't like that they're pretty much using Counter-Strike to make their. Like, I wish it was a little bit more original, but at the same time, why? I mean, why not go with something that works? You know, CS has like a beautiful system with economy and round-based system that it just works, right? So I get it, but I just wish it was a little more original. Besides that, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how Counter-Strike plays with ability system. You know.
Are you excited about the tech in terms of them talking about 160 tick servers or something? I don't know what the.
Yeah. So I'm curious. They have a couple things that are pretty interesting. Like their tick rates, I think 130 tick or something, which is cool. But they also have this tech that is supposed to counter Peeker's advantage. Every shooter kind of suffers from Peeker's advantage, right? Because of all the latency issues. They actually have like some sort of system that kind of counterbalances that. So you are in favor of, the defender is in favor instead of the attacker. So usually when you peek, you have the advantage, right? They have a system that kind of counters that. I forgot what it's called. But that's what they're using. I'm excited to see how that works. Because usually defenders aren't in the advantage unless it's on land. And even on land, sometimes like the Peeker's advantage still exists. So. That being said, I'm excited.
Okay.
What I keep telling my chat whenever they ask is, like, do you think it'll suck? Do you think it'll be good? I think no matter what, even if it does suck, it will be good in the long run. I don't think a company like Riot's going to let that game kind of, die.
No.
So if it does kind of like hiccup and struggle at the beginning, it'll be good in the end. They'll figure it out,
Absolutely.
Like Apex, where Apex was this game that like it had this it almost like started a new standard in a way. Like it was solid when it came out, and then they couldn't really capitalize on it at all, and then it kind of just faded a little bit. I think Riot will be ready.
I also think the gameplay though of Apex isn't quite as desired. This type of gameplay isn't as desired from the gaming community.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, people are just kind of a little bit over Battle Royale. So like, yeah, Apex came out at a perfect time where they weren't quite over it then. They wanted something new, and this kind of filled that gap a little. But people haven't seen a new 5-on-5 competitive shooter since Siege.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. And Siege is, it's not like Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike's kind of a game for everyone. Siege has got its own little community.
Or your all-time favorite game, Insurgency.
Insurgency?
Yeah, what was the one that we played? It's kind of like Counter-Strike that meets Call of Duty. Counter-Strike that meets Call of Duty. Battalion.
But the Battalion was sick, but
small team.
Yeah. Small team and just
that game did feel good.
Yeah,
I will admit
it was smooth.
Yeah.
It had that like classic feel to it, but that's the problem. I think a lot of gamers don't want classic, and that's why Valorant is kind of taking a step up. Like they're taking classic to another level. So that's kind of the cool thing about it. It's just like a good example is the Diabolical or whatever. You know that game, the Quake game.
Yeah,
That's
with
a good
these.
example of how like Quake is a classic. Arena shooters aren't as popular as they were, and I don't know if they ever will be as popular, but they put a very fun, like almost family-friendly spin on that game. You have these little orbs, and they're like your main character's like a ball, and everybody's a ball, and you can like do super customization to make it look really goofy, and it looks, I don't know, it looks more like friendly to your average consumer, which is a good thing. But at the same time, on a deeper level, since everyone is the same model and everyone is this circular ball, it creates a consistency within the Quake community as like, you know, for aiming and hitting those important flick shots and whatnot. So that game impressed the shit out of me. They made Quake more family friendly, basically, which is kind of hard to do because arena shooters are dead.
What if I told you I don't believe you
About what?
about any of that?
Nothing surprises
Arena
me.
shooters are dead?
No, I'm just giving you a hard time.
Okay.
All right.